Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm gonna be doing a gameplay and impressions video on the demo for Fire Emblem Awakening. Listen to that fantastic song there. Beautiful, beautiful song. The classic Fire Emblem tune and the demo that was released today on the eShop. You can only pick the, I believe the normal difficulty, and you can only pick the casual setting, which means that if one of your characters dies, then you can get him back. But the normal or the the classic Fire Emblem mode is that if you lose one of the characters in your party, it's gone forever. So this is a very interesting mechanic, I believe, that has it's one of the characteristics of the series. Here in the demo, unfortunately, you can't edit the character you create, so I'm just gonna leave all the default, including the name, which they suggest as Robin, so I'm just gonna leave it as Robin. You can change the birthday, and you can change the asset. I'm gonna leave it as the asset. For HP and flaw, I'm gonna put speed. I'd rather have a lot of HP at the beginning of the game, so I'm gonna use him. And the game is gonna start with the prologue. And I just want you guys to see the full motion video here. It's just beautiful.
We have to do something.
The animations and the
What do you
artwork.
propose we do?
I don't know.
I see you're awake now.
Hey there.
There are better places to take a nap than on the ground, you know. Give me your hand.
And as you guys can see, that's how they find you. You know, the character you named Robin. They find you in the middle of the field.
Thank you, Crumb.
And the weird thing is that you don't remember anything, because they ask you what is your name, and you don't remember your own name, and you don't even remember where you are, and so forth. So it's like you're suffering amnesia or something. One thing that I want to start pointing out is that the 3D effect in this game is pretty good. In this particular screen, there's 3 different layers of 3D effect. Here you have the text box, which is the I guess the element popping out of the screen the most, and then you have another layer for the 2D model here of your of the character talking, and then on the background you have the 3D polygonal characters in the background. So 3 different layers. It looks beautiful. This is definitely one of the games that I think I'm going to be playing in 3D mode for the most part. So I'm just gonna skip right ahead into the gameplay now. You can push start, and this is pretty much a quick tutorial that the game gives you. That's the boss of this particular battle sequence, I guess. And for those of you that are not familiar with the series, Fire Emblem is a strategy RPG that it's been running for a long time in the Nintendo systems, and I'm not a particular big fan of the series. I have only played one game, which is the Fire Emblem Sacred Stones for the Game Boy Advance. But I think I'm definitely gonna get this game. Maybe not day one, but somewhere down the road. I'm definitely looking forward to adding this game to my collection.
Listen to me.
Basically, the way the game works is that you move on a grid-based system. So here I'm moving my characters, and the objective is obviously to approach the enemy here in the game, and then attack them. Because I'm too far away from the first enemy, which is this guy right here, I'm just moving my units closer. This character, Lisa, she is your party healer, but you always want to keep her a little bit away from the action, because she has very low HP. And the AI is pretty smart in this game, so they're gonna try and attack her as much as they can. So here I'm gonna send Chrome, which is the main character in the game.
What?
Hold on, let's see. They're just talking there. telling you how to play the game and whatnot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move, I guess, Chrome here, and I'm gonna attack this guy. And here you have a preview screen before the battle begins, where you have the most likely scenario that's gonna happen. So for example, here the enemy HP is gonna go down from 16 to 5 if everything goes well, and then you have what's gonna happen to your HP, and you can also change your weapon if you push the X or Y button. So notice the hit rate for the falchion is 92%, and for the rapier is 100%. So I'm gonna pick the rapier because it's a guaranteed hit on the enemy. So I know it's gonna hit him, and there we go. The attack wasn't as strong as predicted, I believe, but nevertheless we put some damage into that guy. So another cool thing is I'm gonna pick Robin, the character that I created, and he can attack with magic, meaning that you don't necessarily have to be right next to the enemy. So you can be two blocks away from the enemy and still attack, like so. And because I'm right next to Chrome, you can do a joint attack, which means that you get more attributes. For example, my hit rate there went plus 10 because I was right next to Chrome. So as you can see, that was a long range attack, and it was also a joint attack. So it's very important to know how to manipulate your units and how to move them. It's a little bit like chess, I guess. You have to think your movements, in advance. Here I'm gonna attack with Frederick. He has a horse, and he is very, very strong because he's mounted on a horse. So I one hit killed that guy. And as always, I'm gonna keep Lisa in the back of everything. I'm just gonna move her here, make her wait. Those sparkly square units are always good because your character can rest and gain experience and replenish health and whatnot. So here we're gonna have this guy attack me. I blocked his attack, and did I kill him? Or yes, I killed him, one hit. So here we have an enemy wizard, so he can also do long range attacks to your party members, like that. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to attack with Chrome first. Like so. It's almost dead. And then what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to do a long range magic attack, and it's also a joint attack because they're going to attack together. So the enemy wizard is pretty much dead anyway, so that was just the finishing blow right there. And now the only enemy left we have is the boss level. So I'm going to attack with Frederick. And this should be a easy kill for me. So here we have a very powerful attack, and it's a one-hit kill. So again, the positive things about this game is that it follows the same formula that made the series a success, and the 3D effect is great. The graphics look, they look pretty good for what they are. The animations on the FMVs, the motion videos are amazing. So so far so good. The soundtrack is very, very good. The game controls, it's pretty basic. You just have to move your units throughout the grids and whatnot. So it's just a matter. If you like these types of games or not. Just keep in mind that, as any SRPG, there's going to be a very high learning curve, and you're going to have to be patient to learn the ins and outs of the battle system. So here we go we move on the world map to what's the first chapter. So I'm just going to skip here really quick. Basically the story follows that after you defeated that first prologue level, you move on to this area and you decide to set up camp because it's late at night. So here we're just going to, you know, set up camp. I'm just gonna skip this dialogue, and we're gonna move right next to the this motion video right here. Basically, they were trying to, as I mentioned, they were just camping there, and all of a sudden this earthquake starts happening. Just look at the animation, beautiful, beautiful video sequence here. It has this sort of cel-shaded anime style that works really well. Another thing is that you can also look at the videos in 3D, so that's kind of cool. The 3D effect in the in this motion videos are not as good, or not as, you know, prominent as when you play the regular game, but nevertheless it's a cool addition. So here we have this like portal opening up in the sky, and new enemies are starting to drop in. They're like zombie-like enemies. So if you guys are in the North American region, as I mentioned, the demo is available today on the eShop. The game will be out on February 4th. And there is a special 3DS bundle coming out with the game. If you don't have a 3DS yet, for I believe $180, there's a special Fire Emblem bundle. Look at that. If that face looks familiar, if you have played the Smash Brothers games in the past, and if you have played the Fire Emblem games in the past, you probably know who this masked guy that jumped out of the portal is. That's none other than yours truly, you know, Marth. Well, very, very popular character in the series. Sorry if you hear the train in the background, but I live right next to the railroad, so I'm sure you can hear it. But anyways, I'm gonna skip this and go. Let's jump right into the gameplay of the next part, which is a little bit more challenging than the tutorial mini level. But here it just basically tells you that those shiny spots are good for replenishing your health and whatnot. So I'm just gonna go there and attack this one guy right here. And because I was standing on those shiny spots, you know, your attack goes up and what have you. So there we get rid of that guy fairly easily. And then we have Robin here. Let's see if we can attack this guy from long range. And that was a critical hit, so there you go. And then we can start moving these guys in the back. Some of the units are affected. For example, here the guy on the horse, Frederick, his mobility is greatly affected because of the terrain. As you can see here, really quick, you know, there are a lot of trees in the way, so my mobility is affected. So I cannot move as far as I used to, you know, as I'm used to. So here Lisa, again, I'm gonna play the role of keep her in the back, just protect her, because yeah, the enemies they just like to attack in big groups. And then here you have some reinforcements that it's a nice addition. You have another unit mounted on a horse, and then you have this guy Virion, who is an archer, so he can also do long-range attacks. And by long range attacks, I mean that you can attack from 2 units or 2 blocks away from the enemy. So here, let's see, what's the best approach? So I'm gonna send this new... Hold on, let me check this guy right here. Okay, so I can put him there to attack there. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna send him there. I'm gonna do a long range attack. That didn't do a whole lot of damage, so I'm just gonna finish this guy off here. I'm gonna double my team, you know, they're right next to each other, so I'm just gonna double team that guy and watch him die.
Damn nuisance.
Pretty cool. Now I am going to... Hold on, what do we have here? I think I'm gonna attack this guy right here. Oh, maybe I should have not done that. Hold on. I'll find out in a second if that was a good move or not. So anyways, dealt damage to that guy. I'm gonna move 2 units away. I'm gonna do a long range magic attack with Robin, just to protect him. And because this is a joint attack, double attack, so... And there I leveled up, so basically what that means is that, you know, your HP increases, your skill increases and whatnot. So, you know, the more experience points you get, the more you're gonna level up, obviously. Typical RPG, you know, elements. And I'm gonna let this guy handle him. Should be a one-hit kill. Should be a fairly easy. There you go. I just wanted to get rid of him because I want to move Lisa up front just in case, or move her closer to the units, like so. And then I'm gonna make her wait, and I ran out of turns. So now it's the enemy turn to move in, and we have that guy trying to do some damage there. And that's the boss right there. The boss, as you can see, you know, they usually have like a dialogue text box there, and that's usually the level boss and or whatnot. And he can do long range attacks. Fortunately for me, that didn't deal any damage. So what I think I'm gonna do is, hold on, I want to see the attack preview. Yeah, this guy, the archer, should kill this guy. So I'm just gonna get him out of the way. So I killed that guy. So I can now focus a full-fledged attack on this dude right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna attack with him. And I'm gonna do a double attack, long range attack, which in some cases, or in this case, it may not be the best choice because I know that the enemy can do a long range attack like so, see? But obviously it's early on in the game and he only did 1 point of damage. So now I'm gonna finish him off with Frederick, which we all know he's a very powerful melee type of character. And there you have it. That was an easy hit. And stage complete. So basically here, this is when, you know, the battle's over. And, you know, this character right here reveals that he's Marth from the, you know, from the previous Fire Emblem games. And, you know, he's been featured in Smash Brothers and whatnot. So he pretty much just tells them that something really bad is about to happen and they need to be careful. So
Right.
there you go, to be continued. That's where the demo ends. It's a pretty good demo. It teaches you the basics of the game, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Again, Fire Emblem is coming out on February 4th. I'll probably get the game not day one, but my overall impressions are that the game it's pretty good. It's pretty fun, as long as you have the patience and and you're willing to spend time to learn the game mechanics. This should be a very, very good game to add to your 3DS library. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.